Hello my friends, welcome to another episode of Chronicon. My name is Wilfred. As you know, I've started playing a warlock Thorn Death Knight kind of build, and I'd like to share with you what I've learned so far, because I think it's rather interesting, the Thorn kind of like concept in this game, and I would like all of you to be able to relate to this and to perhaps build a Thorn build yourself. So the first thing first I've noticed is that, of course, when it comes to Thorn, it means that when someone hits you, you retaliate and then you deal damage. And I've been puzzled, like, how much can I rely on Thorn, right? Because you can gear for it, you can put a lot of stat to it, but how much can you really rely on Thorn? Well, as it turned out, Thorn can be quite slow when it comes to dealing damage. So let me show it to you. Let's put a very kind of like low kind of difficulties like Mythic 1. Let me just show it to you. If I do nothing, just let people hit me, right? And what really happened to Thorn? So now, people hit me, they die. Simple as that. But if I evade, they will not be like they will not like get hit at all. It kind of makes sense. So if you can see, you just need to kind of like if I evade, then and if it hit really slowly, nothing will happen. But otherwise, I mean, of course, things can be rather interesting. If they hit me, they get destroyed, in a sense, right? So that is, in a sense, what it means for like a Thorn build. It does nothing. Like you can literally go through a map without doing anything. So long as they get retaliated, in a sense. So that is how Thorn work. And as you see here, it does. I mean, it doesn't go fast. It's rather slow. So what it means is that, well, you can't really rely on Thorn to do the damage. You have to somehow do something else on top of that. Now, so that's one thing. Let me just go back to town, so it's easier to talk from there. So that's one thing I learned. Thorn is interesting. It killed things really slowly, but and also at the higher level, it doesn't really kill fast at all. It's just not fast at all, no matter how much you put in the Thorn damage. So that's learning point number one. Now, evasion, is working against Thorn. As you can see, if the character evade, that you don't retaliate damage. But can you do without evasion? Can you just go for like damage reduction or stagger damage kind of mitigation, or indirect and direct damage mitigation? Well, the answer is that at a high kind of like mythic level, likely to be not. You still need a decent number of amounts of evasion as a warlock to survive through some of this. Even for my warlock right now, from the last video to this video, I managed to upgrade the stats of quite a lot of my gear, not all yet, to be able to survive through Mythic 10 and above. But still, it's I'm a bit concerned about the survivability of this particular build, because as a Death Knight, you really have to stand in front of everybody and take the damage. Unlike, say, the Summoner or the Frost build, whereby you can just do things from a little bit further, as a Death Knight, you really need to be there on the forefront. And I found that even with my best effort, it just doesn't quite cut it in some sense. So now, having said all these things, okay, fine. I mean, we can't really rely on Thorns, to do damage, to kill things around me. What can I do? Well, the interesting thing about this build, and let me just share with you, combined with the Masochist set as well as the Furious Retaliation set, will help me to do a couple of things, right? So first thing first is that, looking at the Retaliation set, is that I convert a part of my health, 30%, into damage. In the Thorn. And I convert 50% of my damage in the Thorn as well. So I gear for health, I gear for damage. Naturally, my Thorns go up. So that's good news. Now, second thing is that because of the set of the Masochist set, what happened is that 25% of the Thorn's damage will actually go into the bone damage itself. So as you deal bone damage, you are actually applying 25% of the Thorn onto it. So that's pretty cool as well. Now, another thing is, you can have other gears like this one here, low lesser rune. You can see the crit hit increases Thorn by 30%, 7 seconds, step up to 15 times. So that actually increases the Thorns by a vast amount of percentage. I'll show you in just a bit. But the really cool thing about this is that, I applied the bone splinter. And it stacks up infinitely. Now, Bone Splinter on its own is not that interesting because it only comes from one power, which is either the Bone Storm or the or I can't remember what is it, the bone synth, I think. But the with this lesser rune, right, my bone splinter actually apply trigger from any bone skill, and it stack up infinitely. So that is really, really cool. Now what it means is that the bulk of the damage come from bleed, because whatever damage you dealt as a warlock in a shadow damage, 125% of it become bleed damage. Now bleed damage is ever real damage. It doesn't being affected by any resistance of the enemy, nor you can buff it in any way. And it kind of makes sense, because if the bleed damage is derived from the damage you dealt, that is already being discounted by the mob resistance. If your overpower is not 100%, it makes sense, because they won't double penalize you. 125% damage dealt, go into bleed. It takes about it takes 3 seconds, right? So now, just to share with you, showcase to you a little bit. Right now, if you look at my Thorn from last video to this one, of course I've improved a fair bit. So it's a 3.3 million Thorns here. Look at this number here. Now I'm going to show it to you. This number is going to go up quite a lot in just a bit. And the second thing I'm going to show it to you, and is while I'm trying to get my souls here, is that the good thing about this game, and I don't see in any other ARPG like Diablo 3 nor say a Path of Exile, is that the number that shows in this game is very, very clear to you what you are doing. So shadow damage is purple color. Now fire damage is red color, right? So but I don't do red. I don't do red here. I do only shadow damage. So when you see a purple number, that is a direct damage I'm doing. That's the damage I'm dealing as a bone damage. But if you see a white color, and that's bleed, because bleed is a physical damage, right? Or bleed is basically ever real damage. It means that it doesn't bind to any of those like a damage there. So if you see a white color, that is a bleed. And if you see a number above, like it go up, it's direct damage. Means that you dealt with the bone damage and it will proc things as a direct damage. But if things that you see below the target and that is indirect damage, means that you cannot further proc. And it's very clear to you what is direct, what's indirect. Now you see later on just a bit, the bleed damage is so much more powerful than the direct damage. All right. So now let me just start to on dummy itself. Now you see a purple color is about 150 million, but you see the white color 2.9, 3.5, 3.6 million, 4.6 million, right? That's pretty amazing. Compared to the purple color that you see, which is direct damage, the indirect damage is a lot more. Now if you take a look at my Thorns, and it went from, I can't remember, just 3-point-something million, I think, it got to 54.6 million. And even 25% of it, only 25% go into the bone damage, is still quite a fair bit. All right, so that's one thing I'd like to show you. Another thing I'd like to show you, of course, is a damage reduction part of it. So I want to show you this one here. It's important. Let me just get to a 15 soul. Okay, now if you look at the damage reduction, 46% is evasion, 66% is damage reduction, 82% is damage staggered, and 90% of the damage stagger is being negated to my gear as a damage, and 10% of damage is taken off as mana due to my dark kind of pleasure kind of setup. I've got dark pleasure set up over here, and so this is this is the one that is 10% of damage taken subtracted by mana instead. So I do have a fair bit of damage reduction, but it's still not good enough. Now, so yeah, I mean, that's interesting. Just want to showcase to you. Now, last but not the least, I would like to show you is that from my last video to this one, I haven't really changed my build, but what I've changed is that I put the Bone Storm, which is the a warlock power, by the way, as a bane power, as a relic. So I converted the scroll into a relic. And that's really interesting because by right, you can only choose between Bone Storm or the Bone Synth, right? So it's only one either or. But because I have it as a relic, I can have that as well. So suddenly I have 4 layers if I don't take the 4 layer of Bane, right? I've got Life Reap, I've got Bone Spheres, I've got Bone Synth, as well as the Bone Storm. The only downside is that Bone Storm, this one here, share the same cooldown as my Soul Warp. So I can't use my Soul Warp. So I have to decide when do I do a soul warp? When do I do a bone sphere? Because soul warp has a much shorter kind of like teleport, but soul warp also give me 15% of evasion per whatever. I mean, per click, right? So I have to decide that. Now, of course, the decision will come into a point whereby do I need to get 2 soul back? Because my soul warp with my passive give me 2 soul back due to soul thief. Again, the decision point is that am I using the soul ritual? Because if I use a ritual of soul, then I'll need to use a soul warp to recuperate faster on this number of souls. And henceforth, I need to pop that before I do like a soul storm, right? Bone storm. So it's a little bit thinking, really engaging game. Now, of course, it depends on what kind of enemy you're dealing with. Do you need the extra evasion and so on? So yeah, so that is all that I've learned so far. I'd like to share with you in case you want to build your warlock, similar to what I've got. And because it took me a while to get to the guide, so I thought I'd give you some progress update as I go. Now I'm going to do a 12 here because I've done a 10, and 10 is quite easy on this build. So last video was 10, but from 10 onwards, minus 50% is where the player stat is. So what it means is that whatever you've built as a defense, right, the 50% penalty on the resistance, meaning that you have to get 130% because of 80% count cap. You get it all sorted out, so I have got it all sorted out, right? 90% of resistance, you have to have decent number or amount of overpower, which I'm still working on it. I don't know how far I need to push, but I'm working on it. It's pretty okay. So I'm going to do a 12 here. Now 12 is not easy. 12, if you look at the monster health, is almost like like more than 4 times or 5 times of more than 5 times, around 5 times of the of the 10. So it's quite hard, and the damage received is double, right? So they hit double as hard, and the health of the monster is 5 times more. So I don't know. I'm just giving it a shot to showcase to you how it plays like for this like upgraded warlock that I've got with the improved number of kind of like relics or what have you. So let's see. Let's hope I got a good map. Okay, this map is not that bad, I would say. So I got another shrine here. Okay, let's go. Now these are pretty high power stuff, and I have to be careful a little bit. No, not many mobs here. The mob density a bit poor. Now Bone Storm. And as you see, when it comes to Bone Storm, things like die quite a bit faster. Yeah, these guys hit really hard, by the way. Now I'm tempted to use a Ritual of Soul just to showcase to you where how the whole thing interact and so on. But I want to pick the right moment when I have a good shield. Like now, I can use Ritual of Soul, but without the Bone Storm. I can use the teleport to get a bit more soul back, and after that, now is the time when you do a Bone Storm, and they get a bit of decent damage around it. So it's a bit of thinking, a bit of strategizing. Try to play it to the, try to play it so that I can survive, but with a decent amount of kill speed as well. So that is the rule of the game there, right? So again, I can start to these guys are hard. Bone Storm. Okay, done. So that's done. So there's second one. Alright, so far it's pretty alright, but it's not always that smooth sailing. It depends on what kind of enemies I'm facing. Bone Storm. And I can do a bit of perhaps the Ritual of Soul, and I have to get ready to teleport, get a bit of soul back, soul is back, and after that I do a Bone Storm, right? Because I am confident. But now I'm at the second. I got a stagger damage. You see that? So my shields are broken, so I don't want to do anything stupid. Let me just do. Now these trees hit really hard. Let me pop a bone storm. And the thing is that, you know, if you drag them on a little bit, you know, they will die eventually because of the bleed, the 3-second bleed that you know. Let me do a ritual soul, teleport to get us 2 souls back, and I'll teleport. Should be fine. Bone storm it, and then after that, you know, that's it. It's rather engaging, I would say. It's more engaging than the. It's more engaging than, say, the frost spear. I would say. And I presume all the like explosion around me is due to my build as well. I've got, like, instead of dealing Thorn damage, I do Bone Nova as well. So, you know, it is. Let me just do a bit of like a Bone Storm here. It's just that, you know, things dies eventually through bleed, but I don't get to loot the item because they died like so far away from where I am, and it's not very efficient to just get to loot. So that is the rather unfortunate thing about it. But yeah, it is what it is. Ooh, we have to be careful. Okay, let me just do sorry, what am I doing? Let me do a sorry, the ritual soul. And then now it's a bone storm time. It's rather hairy. See that? Quite a lot of billion of damage, so it's looking quite okay. Let me pop the ritual soul, because I see that looks like there's a whole bunch of item like mobs going to die soon, so I take some risk there. So it's a bit of like, you know, thinking whether it is worth it to take some risk. Now this guy, ooh, this guy, I don't like these guys, man. Ooh, I don't like this guy either. Wow. Ooh, this is bad. This is bad. Let me just do a ritual soul there. Should make myself temporarily more powerful. Resist the temptation of using bone storm for a while. Let me just get my souls back, and yeah, I think now it's fine. And the okay, all good. My soul. Okay, so that is done. How many percent? 50 what percent? I am not quite sure whether I'm like close to. Let's pop this as well. I think I need to be careful about my soul. The lack of soul. Lack of soul! Yep, now I'm fine. I'm feeling awesome. Second layer there, well, 4th layer, which is the Bone Storm. I reckon this Bone Storm is more cool than the Diablo 3 one. I have to do that. Alright. I can't get 100% through here. Let me see what I'm missing. Oh, there's still a whole bunch of enemies here, so that's cool. Bone Storm. Oh, let me pop my soul. Then my health will increase as well. I mean, my health is rather high. I haven't said that. It still seems rather, like, you know, like fragile. Don't know why. Maybe just a setup. I have to think a little bit more on how to make this build stronger. Yeah. I got stuck here. Now that is unfortunate because I'm running out of mobs at 94%. So it's just one of those maps whereby I really don't like, because you have to retrace back quite far. Whoa! Bone Storm. And you have to be careful. These guys tend to hit really hard. Okay. 98%, I still need to work a little bit harder. Ooh, done. Whoa. Well, I can't get out, I got stuck. Done. Okay, let's head to the last one. Yeah, my movement speed is really bad, even though I got kill haste. But I guess it's just one of those, because I got 2 teleport. I say, well, I don't need that much like movement speed, which I mean, have a take a look at this, right? I mean, you know, I tend to grab stuff onto me anyway as a warlock, as this build, so I don't really need to move that fast per se. Now this guy hit really hard as well, by the way. Bone storm. Yeah. So I have to pay attention to the number of soul as well, and the damage received. Yeah, I mean, look, I mean that was a kill haste, by the way. That's why I could walk a little bit faster. So that is 2 layers there. I mean, look, it's whether you want to do certain things or not depends on how confident you can clear the enemy within like 6 seconds. That is where the buff is, when you do sacrifice your soul to have a buff, you know, the health and the damage buff, I would say. Ooh. Yeah, that's done. Wow. Bone storm. Pop my soul. Ritual soul. So far seems alright. A Greek shield emanates from your weapon. I think this is like the fire resistance. After a while, you kind of get it, like, you know, what is what. Pop the ritual soul as well, because I'm kind of confident things will be fine. Okay. Ooh, there's a prismatic dam. Finally, been like doing the whole thing for a while. Yeah, that's it. See, a lot of obedience from the white color, which is the bleed itself. Okay, I just sacrificed a number of souls, so I need to get a bit more soul. I need to get like 15 soul, and after that I'm happy. Okay, I'm done. Just to finish off here. So as you can see, it's alright. It's not that, I mean, look, I've got kill haste, by the way. This to show you that, you know, it can go fast for a while. Okay, boss time. Boss time is not going to be fast. It's just the infinite stack of the bone splinter as well as what have you. So it's not going to be fast, but the target will tend to die quite fast towards the end. It's more like a, you know, Bane of the Stricken. If you play Diablo 3, suddenly the target drops when enough kind of things are dropped, when enough like DPS against it. Yeah, done. So that's done. It's alright. It's not that exciting. I need to up my DPS, which I'm still working through my stats, because I got quite a few stats that does that. Or I need to be more aggressive in my gearing to do more about the you know, gear I have. By the way, I mean, this is rather good run. I've got this prismatic dam. It's always not easy to get all this prismatic stuff or in the gems here. I mean, these are the one that's really hard to farm for, even harder than the runes. It's lesser rune itself. So yeah, I hope you like this kind of series of video on the progress itself. If you want to do up your own Thorn build, you know, let me know how you go for you as well. Keen to always hear and exchange the idea. All right, now talk to you again soon. Goodbye.